नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्याम जगन्नाथाय ते नमः. A very warm good morning to one and all. It is a moment of extreme delightful welcome to a 2-week national workshop on educational research methodology, which is organized by Center for In-Service Teacher Education under National Sanskrit University, Tirupati. Today is the 7th day, second session of this workshop. I am wholehearted welcome to our dynamic Director Sir, Professor P. Venkatrao Sir, elegant workshop coordinator R. Chandrasekhar Sir, additional coordinators, participant different parts of our country, dear colleagues, research scholars and students. Now I would like to extend willing-hearted welcome to distinguished, energetic, passionate, resource person, psychologist, Professor S. Khadiravan Sir. He travelled so far to be with us today. He is working as a controller of examination and head Department of Psychology, Periyar University, Salem. He completed 2 PhD. One is psychology, another educational technology. He completed MPhil in education, M.Ed, MSc Physics, MA Psychology, Sociology, PG Diploma Guidance and Counseling. He has 24 years teaching experience, 26 years research experience, and 24 years training and counseling experience. Sir published 91 articles in reputed journal. He constructed 12 psychological tools. He attended so many seminars, conferences and workshops. He guided 17 PhD students, 54 MPhil students. He conducted more than 1,500 training programs like stress and anger management, individual and group counseling, family, marital and sexual counseling, CBT, REBT and clinical hypnotherapy, HR training and development. He recently visited Malaysia and New York for academic purpose. He is a member of American Psychological Association, USA, member of Australian and New Zealand Mental Health Association, Australia, International Association for Youth Mental Health, Australia, National Academy of Psychology, India. He is a member of Indian Academy of Applied Psychology. So many academic fields he is a member. Put your hands together. Let's warm-hearted welcome educationist psychologist Professor S. Khadiravan Sir. Please sir, take this session.
Sir, our good old friend, because of him only I am here. That is always there. And your dynamic course director. Okay, your director came to pick me from the railway station at the midnight 12 o'clock. Such an active person he is, and he came yesterday to the railway station to pick me from the railway station. Tirupati railway station. Venkatrao sir and dear friends. It's a pleasure as well as privilege to be the part of this workshop. And we know each other, Chandrasekhar sir and myself, we know each other for about last 10 years. Okay, 10 years back I was in the same guest house, I was in the same premises, and I took the basic counseling skills in association with the World Psychology Association by Professor Goida Reddy. And now I came here with a different role to take the statistics part. And the topic assigned to me is, the first topic is correlation. Okay. When I was interacting with the students who came to the guest house to pick me, and when I am taking the breakfast, okay, I have interacted with some of the people those who came there. Okay. There are various people from various parts of our country. Okay. Thanks to the Sanskrit University, which is uniting the people from the various parts of the country, then what is the relationship between those people? Tell me. Very necessary can use. What is the Hello. Yeah. What is the relationship between these people or among these people? Can you say anything? Definitely you have friends. People are from West Bengal, people are from Odisha. Yes, people are from Andhra Pradesh, people are working in various parts of Andhra Pradesh. What is the relationship between you people, among you people?
We are studying same subject.
Same subject. What subject? Sanskrit. Except Sanskrit, you are not studying anything? Except Sanskrit, you are not studying anything.
But the
language, I don't think so.
modern language.
Yeah, modern language methodology. Then any other factor? Yeah, you are the researchers. You should answer my question. Otherwise, how you are going to find the hypothesis and the solution for your hypothesis? What is the common factor between you people and among you people? Scholar. What do you mean by scholar? We are the PhD scholar. What is scholar? Yes, but let them answer. See, what do you mean by scholar? The word scholar. You are doing research in education, so you must know the meaning for the word scholar. Knowledgeable. Huh? Knowledgeable. What do you mean by knowledge? You are a Sanskrit scholar. Tell me what is knowledge. What is knowledge? Any information which is accumulated in a particular place is said to be the knowledge, right? Even from the Sanskrit. Okay, from the Sanskrit perspective, the acumen or the domain of information is said to be knowledge. So, what is scholar then?
The right knowledge.
Right knowledge. Is there any right knowledge, wrong knowledge? Knowledge itself is positive. How can you say that knowledge is right or wrong? See, the problem is with the utilization of knowledge. How you are using the knowledge is the problem. Okay? So if I am rightly using my knowledge, then I will be the social contributor, or I am the person who is against the society. Right? It depends on the utility of the knowledge. I am not talking about the utility of the knowledge. First we have to define what is a scholar. Only then you can talk about the achievement test, scholastic achievement test, and all the other things. What do you mean by scholar? The scholar. No scholar is here. Only you are calling yourself as a scholar, am I right? By virtue you are calling yourself a scholar.
Scholar is the existing particular branch of subject, sir.
So scholar will not have the knowledge in the other branch of subject?
Can we say as Viveka Jnana?
I don't know Sanskrit.
What to do, what not to do.
What to do, what not to do. That is your common sense. Scholar is the word derived from the scholastic ability. Scholastic ability. In education research, you are talking about scholastic achievement. Scholastic achievement. So, the scholar is the person who is well versed in all the 3 R's of education. What are the 3 R's? What are the 3 R's of education? Reading, writing and arithmetic. So you are not only you have the potential in reading, writing and arithmetic, and you should have the potential expression. Potential expression. The expression is more important, whether it is in Sanskrit or Telugu or Kannada or English or Bengali, the expression is more important. I have a lot of potential, but I don't know how to express. What is the use of the knowledge? What is the use of the knowledge? So, scholastic achievement talks about not only just reading, writing and arithmetic, it talks about your expression. The expression. So, what is the meaning of the scholar? Scholar is the person who is well versed in the subject area, the knowledge content, and you should have the expression of the information. Otherwise, you can't call yourself as a scholar. Hope you got my point. Afternoon, I will talk about the tools of, and some people are asking the questions about the inventory, question, etc., etc. I will address all those issues. Because I am not a person who is limited with one subject. That is my problem. I am not a person limited with one subject. Right? I am a person who is still in the process of learning. Even last December, I went to UK for a workshop. Right? I went and learned expressive art therapy. Okay? Art itself is expressive. Okay? But nowadays we have the area called expressive art therapy. Though I am in the field of psychology now, but basically I am an educationist. I did all my regular degrees from the education field. Only from the education suddenly I shifted to psychology. Then I am a therapist in psychology. Okay, I am equipping myself with various therapies, and recently I went for the expressive art therapy. There I learned that only the educationists, you are struggling with the children. Nowadays we use the word special children. You are using the word special children. You should not use the word disability. You should not use the word disability. According to the Government of India norms, we should not use the term disability. Rather, we should use the term special children. Okay? The expressive art therapy is exclusively for special children, especially for children below the age of 12. Exclusively for the children below the age of 12. And in my opinion, all we are struggling to express certain things. That is our correlation. That is our common relationship. That's our common relationship. We are unable to express so many things. So coming back to my initial question, okay, what is the common factor associating or among you people and between you people? I am coming back to my question, original question. Somebody said Sanskrit, somebody said it's education, somebody said some knowledge, whatsoever it may be. The common factor is you have the willingness for learning. That is why you came all the way and you are sitting here. Even Professor Chandrasekhar sir is much senior to me. He is also sitting and listening to the class. Compared to me, he is much senior. Your madam is much senior. But they are coming here. So, the common factor, what is relating you or what is the correlation? It is the common factor is willingness to learn. Willingness to learn. Sanskrit, etc. is a subject knowledge or domain knowledge, domain specific knowledge. Right? But willingness for learning. Otherwise, you won't spend this much time and sitting here. Okay. See, in my opinion, any degree, any program, okay, is not for the certificate. It's not for the certificate. There comes a difference between the foreign education system and the Indian education system. In the foreign education system, they are not doing anything for the certification. Here we are much bothered about the certificates in the Indian context. I feel so. We are worrying much about the certificates rather than the real knowledge and skill. Real knowledge and skill. Okay. What is the factor among you people? Irrespective of your age, irrespective of your gender, irrespective of your degrees, whatsoever it may be. What is the common factor among you people?
Human. We are all humans.
Yes. Beautiful answer. You are all humans. But I am expecting subject-wise answer. Okay? I am expecting some subject-wise answer. Human is the common terminology. Anybody can say, we are the human being. But my question is whether we are being human is a $1 billion question. Okay? We are human being. By position, by virtue, we are the human being. But we are not being human. I am not coming to that side. Okay? Then, what is the common factor among you people?
Sir, we all are learners.
Learner. That you have the willing, correct, that students or scholars, whatsoever it may be. You are all the learners. Willingness to learn is the factor which is the primary factor, but you are the learners. We are the lifelong learners. There is a famous saying: when the teacher stops learning, he starts dying. When the teacher stops learning, he starts dying. So the learner, the common factor among you people is learner. There may be differences between you. There may be differences between you. The learning style may be different. Some people may learn only from the PowerPoint. Some people learn only when I write in the whiteboard or blackboard. Some people, when they learn only if there is no teacher. Okay, many teachers are like that nowadays. Okay, so without them the teaching learning is better. Right? Some people may learn without the teachers. So there are certain differences. Though you are related, there are some differences. There are some differences. Even your intelligence may not be the same. Your intelligence may not be the same. The thumb rule is the normal probability curve, NPC. The normal probability curve. If you take the NPC, normal probability curve, it is a bell-shaped curve, etc., etc. I am not going to teach the normal probability curve. Okay, the edges will never touch the origin, the baseline. Okay, then if you take the normal probability curve, this is the Q1 in general, what I want, this is the Q3, then about 70%, exactly speaking 68%, then approximately about 70% falls under the normal category. Falls under the normal category. I am not going to classify what is normal, whether you are super normal or abnormal. I am not going for that area. Yeah, it is a normal category. Then 16% is dull and backward, and 16% is above average. Above average. Then the biggest challenge for a teacher, most of your teacher, whether you are a teacher of lower education or higher education, okay, how you are going to select the methodology or select the teaching method which suits for all the learner. Which suits for all the learner. That's a big question. That's a big question. Now you should know the relationship between these people. Now you should know the relationship between these people. For example, this side, okay, this side of the learner, they may be easily associated with the learner, those are the higher achievers. Learners, those are the higher achievers. This side of the normal probability curve, they are related with the lower achiever or dull and backward. Strictly speaking, we should not use the word lower achiever. Lower achievers. If so, how we can design the methodology? Okay, I can easily say that these people are related with these people are related with that people. Okay, this is the common layman comment, like human being. Like human being. But how they are related exactly, whether these people are related to these people exactly or not. If so, how we can quantify it? How we can quantify it? Similarly, whether this group of people or these borderline people, they are related with these people. Okay, we have to identify. There we use correlation. There we use correlation. Correlation is the word, okay, which is nothing but correlation. Okay, as the human being, we coexist with each other. As the human being, we coexist with each other. We cannot exist alone. We cannot exist alone. So that coexistence is known as correlation. Hope you got the simple meaning for correlation. That coexistence is correlation. For example, myself and Chandrasekhar sir are related to each other. Related to each other. You don't know how. You don't know how. Then I have the influence of Chandrasekhar sir on me. Chandrasekhar sir has some influence because of me. Okay, how much influence we have on each other? That comes the regression. Hope you got the answer for your research questions. Okay? So, if you want to find out the relationship between variables, you should go for correlation. Okay? Then, if you want to find out the influence of one variable over the other, you should go for regression. How I am influencing him, how he is influencing me. Okay, both are possible. And both we together have the common influence on you people. Both we together have the common influence on you people. There goes the multiple regression. There you can go to the multiple regression. Then Chandrasekhar sir, myself and you people have the common relationship in this platform, that is multiple correlation. That is, you got the point, simple meaning of the correlation. Okay, both of us will be related to you people in some way. Then if you want to find out the relationship among we people, it should go for the multiple correlation. Then if you want to find out the influence of both of us on you people, you can go for multiple regression. So this is the basic idea. So correlation talks about the relationship between variables. Correlation talks about the relationship between variables, and I don't believe on PowerPoints, especially for the statistics. Okay, but however, as per your requirement, I put the PowerPoint. As per the requirement, I put the PowerPoint. So there are certain definitions. If two or more quantities vary in sympathy, so that movements in one tend to be accompanied by corresponding movements in others, that is the meaning I taught now. Okay, that's what I taught. I didn't read the definition, but the meaning of the definition is the example I have given. The second definition, the words of Croxton and Cowden, when the relationship of a quantified nature, the appropriate statistical tool for discovering and measuring the relationship and expressing in a brief formula is known as correlation. Right? Are you getting me? Are you okay? Don't think that I have so many questions. Even if you are not giving the answer, I will give the answer. Don't. The teachers are good in asking the question, not in giving the answers. That's the problem with the teachers nowadays. Next. Yeah. What does the correlation measure? What does the correlation measure? Actually, I said that we have relationship. We have relationship. Whether the relationship is in the, somebody told about right and wrong. Somebody told about right and wrong. Whether the relationship in the right direction, that is the positive correlation. If it is in the wrong direction, so the correlation measures the direction and extent of relationship among variables. Correlation measures the direction and extent of relationship among the variables. So the correlation measures covariation, not causation. Causation is done by regression. How much influence we have on each other is regression. But this is a kind of covariance. It's a kind of covariance. Therefore, we should never interpret correlation as implying cause and effect relation. Just because I am related to you, you cannot say that you have the influence on me or I have the influence on you. Are you clear? Are you clear? Teachers always have the influence on people, to the students. There comes the regression. How much influence you have on your students is regression. But definitely as a teacher, we should have the human sense, and with a humanistic approach, we should be related with our student. That is relationship. That's a relationship. Are you clear? Then, the correlation coefficient. Everywhere we are trying to quantify something. I think the previous session teacher, what's his name, sir? Prabhu Shankar from Saidapat Teachers College, which is my alma mater. I did my MPhil from Teachers College, Saidapat. Then he would have taught about the various scales of measurement. Scales of measurement. The problem with the research methodology program is everywhere you have the canonical correlation. Everywhere you have the canonical correlation. Prabhu Shankar would have spoken about my topic, and I would have again repeating the topic which Prabhu Shankar spoke. And the best part of the research methodology is after listening to all the people, you know nothing. After listening to all the people, you know nothing. So you have to repeatedly go through the material. You should repeatedly go through the material. But once if you repeatedly go through the material, you will have the grip over it, and later you find everything is simple. Everything is simple, but it requires a rigorous practice. It requires a rigorous practice. See, a teacher who is well versed in research methodology will be definitely a very good teacher. Will be a very good teacher. The reason is you know the nuances of research methodology. You know the nuances of research methodology, and you have applied research methodology, and you will learn how to apply the research methodology for every walk of your life. Every walk of your life. And you know very well, most of us are only practitioners. Only preachers, not a practitioner. Okay, we are very good preaching, not practicing. Okay, but we should model the behavior, but we don't have the passions to do that. We have to model the behavior for our students. But without doing it, we are expecting the students to be moral rather than teachers to be moral. Rather than students to be moral. But the teachers should be moral. Only then we can model the behavior for our own students. Am I correct? Many of you are teachers too. Then, so coming back to the point, so the two, we can have the relationship between the variables from the correlation, the direction as well as the extent to which two variables are related. That is why it is said to be covariation. The correlation, the another meaning for correlation is covariation. How we are going together, correlation. Correlation, we exist together. We exist together. And using a scaling technique, the purpose of the scale is converting the qualitative entity to the quantitative one. The purpose of scale, what is the meaning of the scale? Converting the qualitative entity into the quantitative one. That's the purpose of scale. Then nominal scale, ordinal scale, interval scale, ratio scale. Ratio scale is the perfect scale, and we can also use the perfect scale everywhere. That's why many of the psychological tests and educational tests are in the interval scale, up to which you must know it. Up to which you must know it. Right? So nominal scale, even your name is the nominal scale. Your gender is in nominal scale. But I want to do some analysis, so I want to assign certain numbers. So I am giving the number 1 for male, number 2 for female, number 3 for transgender. Nowadays it is legally approved. So you should not ignore the third number, transgender. Everywhere you should think of male, female and transgender. Legally it is approved in India. So third number is for transgender. So this numbering is a kind of converting the qualitative entity into quantitative one. Then I am talking about the statistics, but I am against of statistics. Because with the computer output, even if you feed your chapel size in millimeter with your IQ score, you will get the best correlation. For example, our IQ ranges from average IQ 90 to 110. From the Terman and Merrill's classification, the average IQ is from 90 to 110. Your chapel size must be in 8 inches, 9 inches, 10 inches. 10 inches means it's about 100 millimeter. See the number? More or less it will be highly correlated. Highly positive significant correlation will exist. Highly positive significant correlation will exist if you correlate your chapel size with your intelligence. I'm not joking. Okay? Take the measurement of all the chapel size here, take the measurement of all the intelligence of these people, then feed it in your Excel or feed it in your SPSS, you will get the beautiful output. Most probably you will get 0.9 or +1 correlation. Perfect correlation.
Okay, sir, those who are very tall and stout and then who have got lengthy feet, do they come under these two extremes?
Yeah, definitely they. See, this is a common thumb rule. 16% will be in the above average level or anything. Not only I am using the word average. 70% of people are more or less in the similar level.
Yes.
Okay? 15% roughly below that similarity. 15% above that similarity. This is a common thumb rule for normal probability.
Yes.
Okay?
So they should be either in
Definitely. The extreme values will affect the correlation. The extreme values will affect the correlation coefficient. Yeah, he has given the beautiful example for extreme values. Okay, tall person with 11 inches. Okay, for him the correlation coefficient may slightly modify.
So we have one person in our family who is very taller and he comes between 90 and 110. Neither these are not.
That is the
Exception.
exceptional case. Okay, I am talking about in general. Okay, coming back to the point. Forget about the fun. So, the problem with the statistics is, even we have the problem with the word statistics itself, hope you know that. Okay, if you take the word statistics as a subject, it is singular. Okay, then if you use the statistical calculation, the word statistics is plural. Did you know about it or not? So the measurement of anything that generates the numerical value, that is called as statistic. So that is singular. So the many measurement talks about statistics, that is plural. But we talk about research methodology and statistics. Here the statistics is singular. So with the terminology itself we have so many problems. Not only that, even with the statistical calculation we have so many problems. Okay? Now, it is the judicious nature of the researcher. It is the knowledge of the scholarly expertise of the researcher to decide whether you have to go for this correlation or not. So statistics is the tool in the hands of the researcher which should be utilized judiciously. Everywhere you need not depend on the statistics. Everywhere you need not depend on the statistics. Even I am dead against of this hypothesis myopia. Hypothesis myopia. I call it as hypothesis myopia. You know myopia, nera kurudu, Tamil. Okay? So hypothesis myopia. We are much emphasizing about the hypothesis. See, even last 2 days back we have published an article in Current Psychology, which is the 5.8 impact factor journal from USA. Right? With my scholar I have published an article on digital amnesia scale, development and validation of digital amnesia scale. Okay. They, as usual, Americans, you know, they see the Asian people as the West people, so they used to raise so many queries. And I have given the answer for all those queries, for the reviewers' queries, okay, with a common sense. With a common sense. They accepted the article and it was published last week only. Last week only. The thing is how we are using the research methodology and statistics judiciously. Many of the statistical packages are developed by the Americans. Not Americans, Indians in America. And the name of American companies. Right? Indians in America. Okay, brain drain. Right? But the problem is, even they don't know what is composite reliability, and many of the researchers, they don't use the composite reliability. But we Indians, we use the statistics to the most extent. The SEM, structural equation modeling. There many people are calculating the CR value. Okay, that is nothing but composite reliability. There's nothing but composite reliability of your tool. And many of the Americans, they are not calculating it. One of the reviewer comment is, even the research scholar has utilized this advanced level of statistics. This is not advanced level of statistics. If you feed the numbers and you know how to operate the Amos package, you will get the value. With the SPSS Amos, you will get the value. But the thing is how we are interpreting the value. That's what I want to emphasize here. Even for the Chappell size and intelligence, you will get a beautiful correlation. This correlation is known as the linear relationship, or this correlation is known as Carl Pearson's product moment correlation. Carl Pearson product moment. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
I'm not going above here. Okay? So Carl Pearson product moment correlation. I am not against statistics. I am against the utility of the statistics in the uncommon or unethical way. Unethical way. It should be used in the ethical way or judiciously. It should be utilized. Otherwise, you will get the beautiful correlation. As a MS student, if you calculate all these things, you will get the marks for full marks for the correlation coefficient also. And even interpretation. Both the intelligence and sample size of men and women is men and women have significant, highly significant positive association with each other. Yes, 10 marks out of 10. Good. But is this applicable to the common sense? Is this correct? Is this correct? Is there any relationship between your chapel size or brief size, vest size and your intelligence? No. But we can calculate. That's why it is a double-edged sword. The statistics is the double-edged sword, but it should be used with the judicial knowledge of the researcher. Judicial knowledge of the researcher. So this is the example for the linear relationship. And so as SARS case, the person's height and the intelligence is not correlated. There is no relationship, scientifically there is no relationship, but as per Ishvis we have calculated. So it was negatively related with each other. It was not related to each other. So now I can say that this is called as non-linear correlation. Non-linear correlation. Then, with the same example, the intelligence, the chapel size, the height, the weight, all are sparingly related, or all are different from each other. Then I can say that there is no correlation. There is no correlation or zero correlation. Hope I taught about all the type of correlation. With the same example, okay? So if it is related, it is a positive linear correlation. If it is not related, it is negative correlation. Then if they are scattered, there is no relationship between all these variables. There is no correlation or zero correlation or null correlation. No correlation or zero correlation or null correlation. Are you clear with these three aspects?
Sir,
Yes, madam.
sir, what are the difference between negative and zero correlation?
Negative and
Zero correlation.
zero correlation Actually, zero correlation is say that zero correlation. You can say that there is no correlation at all between you and me.
Is that same in negative?
No, negative correlation. See, when my height increases, my capacity to learning is decreases. That is negative correlation. Because as my weight increases, my capacity for learning is decreases. That is negative correlation. So zero and negative are not one and the same. In other words, I give you the simple pictorial example. We used to call it when the intelligence level is high, then the achievement is also high. The achievement is also high. This is called as positive correlation. Then when the stress level is high, then the achievement level is low. This is negative correlation. Hope you got the example. Then the chapel size and intelligence, there is no correlation, there is zero correlation. That is zero correlation. Got the point? Yes. So little bit up higher. Yeah, we can talk concho. Up. I covered all those area. Yeah. See, actually, I don't want to talk about the basic pictorial representation. You know about it. When we talk about the correlation, we should talk about the scatter diagram. Scatter diagram. Okay? Then scatter diagram, we have both the x-axis and y-axis. It is the horizontal axis, x-axis, and this is the y-axis. There are two more axes. We are not talking about that. This is x dash and this is y dash and this is x dash. Okay? First quadrant, second. This is the 360 degree. First quadrant, not quartile. Quartile divides the distribution equally into 4 portions. Quartiles, I think they have covered the quartiles enough for you. It's very simple. Once if you know the median formula, you can derive everything. Median formula is L plus N by 2 minus the cumulative frequency CF, the M divided by F. This is the median formula. In this place, in the instead of n by 2, if you put n by 4, this is first quartile. If you use 3 n by 4, that is third quartile. Once you are thorough with the median formula, you can understand everything, quartile, decile, everything. Okay? Logic. The decile divides the distribution equally into 10 portions. So your median, n by 2 is nothing but the decile 5. D5. Your n by 2 is nothing but D5. That's why I am insisting about the logic. Okay? If you know the logic of everything, the application of the formula is very simple. So the decile divides the distribution equally into 10 portions. So D by 10 in the place of n by 2, D by 10 is the first decile. Your D5, D1, this is D1. So D5 by 10 is the fifth decile, that is nothing but your median. That is nothing but your median. Similarly, percentile divides the distribution equally into 100 parts, not percentage. Percentage is out of 100, percentile is the rank. Percentile rank is the position. So percentile divides the distribution equally into 100 portions. So your percentile 50 is nothing but your median. Your percentile 50 is nothing but your median. Your percentile 25 is nothing but your quartile 1. Your percentile 75, P75 is nothing but your quartile 3. Quartile 3. So with the same formula you can derive everything. With the median formula, once if you know the logic and accordingly replacing the values, you can derive everything. And coming back here. So this is the first quadrant where both the values are positive. Where both the values are positive. In the second quadrant, x-axis is positive, y-axis is negative. Here both the values are negative. Here y-axis is positive, x-axis is negative. Okay, but generally for the geometric representation, we take this area alone. Okay, the scatter diagram, we are pointing out the things and we are trying to draw a line, straight line, more or less the straight line. I think you would have drawn all these things in the 6th class or 7th class. 6th class or 7th class, do you remember that?
Yes.
X-axis, y-axis story. Yes or no?
You have joined the picture, join the lines and see the diagram.
Okay, this is called as scatter diagram. From the scatter diagram, you can decide how many things are more or less with the straight line? Okay, more or less associated with the straight line. All the points cannot be in the straight line. See, look at me. I have not drawn the straight line on the points, but majority of the points I am joining. Majority of the points I am joining. So this is the positive relationship. Like your question, intelligence increases with, achievement increases with intelligence. Then when the graph is like this, I am quoting the scores of the intelligence scores and the achievement scores of the people, and I have drawn this line. And similarly, stress and achievement score, academic stress and achievement score. Academic stress is increases, then the achievement drops. So I am drawing the straight line like this. I am drawing the straight line like this. This is one way. This is negative correlation. Sir, just shift. There is a diagram is there. I need not draw the diagram. Yeah. Strong positive correlation, weak positive correlation, borrowed from Byju's. The picture was so nice, so we have to give the if I am not using it, that is called as plagiarism. That is called as plagiarism, and that is also part of your ethics. So I am giving the I am thanking them with the name of Byju's as such. Okay. So strong. The picture was so appealing. That is why I taken the picture from there. So strong positive correlation. Look at the weak positive correlation because many dots are outside that line. Then strong negative correlation, stress and academic achievement. Then weak negative correlation. Then moderate negative correlation, and there is no correlation. There is no correlation. So coming back to the summarization, if you take the correlation, we can have three types of correlation. One is positive correlation, negative correlation, no correlation. Within the positive, you maybe have the strong relationship, moderate relationship, or weak relationship. But how can we say that from the diagram? They have represented it with the diagram. How can we say it is a weak correlation or strong correlation? Okay, for which we need a number, single number, which lies between -1 to +1, including the 0. Okay, we need a number from -1 to +1. That is called as correlation coefficient. The correlation coefficient can be represented as R or rho, RHO, rho. Both can be used, but widely used symbol is R. Widely used symbol is R. Even for the regression coefficient, you will use R, that is the capital R. You shouldn't be confused with the small r and the capital R. Okay? Small r and the capital R. Many people write the capital R and small r interchangeably, but you should not be confused. In mathematical representation or statistical representation, each has a different value, each has a different meaning, each has a different connotation. Right? So small r, or it's also called as rho. If I have the problem with R, better you can call it as rho. Better you can call it as rho. So next. A correlation formula, which is the popular formula, everywhere you are using it. Because we have some limitations in using certain things. Everywhere the popular correlation coefficient is Karl Pearson product moment correlation coefficient. Karl Pearson product moment correlation coefficient. When we can use the product moment correlation coefficient, that's very important. That's what I'm saying. I'm repeatedly telling, it is the judicious knowledge of the researcher we have to decide. When and where we have to use the product moment correlation coefficient. When we want to see the relationship between two continuous variables. Underline the word continuous variables. Continuous means then definitely there are some other variables. Some other variables. So the continuous variable is possible only with the ratio scale. The continuous variable is possible only with the ratio scale, which is from 0 to infinity. Which is from 0 is also included in your ratio scale. That's right. For example, can we say that your intelligence level, starting level of intelligence is 0? Would it be possible? So that is why safely I am using the interval scale whenever I am talking about intelligence. Whenever I am talking about intelligence, can I say that your previous knowledge, previous learning is 0? No. Don't think that only when you come to the university or college, you learn something, you have the previous learning. No, absolutely no. Absolutely no. Many people, after they become the entrepreneur, after they become the billionaire, they proved that there is no relationship between the education and the position they have achieved. Education and the position they have achieved. Okay, so I can't say that you don't have the learning, you don't have the previous motivation, you don't have the previous intelligence. Even animals possess intelligence, which was widely proved. Animals possess intelligence. Recently I have seen the video in the WhatsApp. In Tamil we used to say that கிளிய வளர்த்து வந்து குரங்கு கிட்ட கொடுத்ததுன்னு. The parrot is handed over in the hands of the monkey. Okay, what the monkey will do? It will pluck the parrot like anything. Now recently there is another video. How parrot is torturing the monkey. The monkey is with the parental care and the parrot is torturing the monkey like anything. So everything is changing in the changing world. Everything is changing in the changing world. So we cannot say that the previous learning, previous motivation, etc., previous intelligence is zero. So there we prefer the interval scale. When in most of the time, achievement scores are in the ratio scale because zero is possible with our capacity. With our intelligence, zero output is possible, right? But intelligence can't be zero. Intelligence can't be zero. So zero score is possible in all your measurement, am I right? In all the class grade examination, zero is possible, right? But with the intelligence measurement, zero is not possible. Zero is not possible because we have the utility of the intelligence in some way, not only in the academic achievement. When I am talking about psychological test, I will introduce the intelligence test and all. There I will cover all those things, right? Afternoon I have the second session for your psychological tools. Then coming back here, so we prefer the interval scale over there. Now the underlying condition is only when you have the two continuous variable like your stress and academic achievement or intelligence and academic achievement. See, actually I am repeatedly telling the same example, same variable for your example because you will not forget it. If you are repeatedly pouring some information, that will become a memory. Otherwise I can use various examples from the psychological point of view. But the aim is you should not forget the variables. From the variable we can think of the correlation. From the variable we can think of the correlation. So coming back, so when we have the two continuous variables, which means the variable is in the ratio scale. The variable is in the ratio scale. Only then you should go for Karl Pearson product moment correlation coefficient. Hope you got the point. So correlation coefficient is the single number which lies between -1 to +1. Okay, because we know that there is no correlation, some strong correlation, weak correlation, etc. But exactly we want to say something. We need the cutoff point. We need the cutoff point for which we are quantifying that. We are quantifying that for which we are calculating the correlation coefficient. The first one is Karl Pearson product moment correlation coefficient. Karl Pearson product moment correlation coefficient. And you have the popular formula n within summation xy minus summation x summation y divided by n into summation x square minus summation x the whole square and n into summation y whole square minus n summation y square minus summation y the whole square. In the denominator everything is within the square root. This is the popular formula. This is the popular formula. Can you work out the Karl Pearson product moment correlation coefficient? Yes or no? Yes sir, தேவையில்லாததெல்லாம் பார்க்குறீங்க. See, actually, we are the generation, we learn how to work even canonical correlation by hand with the calculator. That is why if you ask the teachers, those who have done the statistical operation by themselves, they will not forget anything because they have done it. They have done it. And the young generation, you are relying only on the computer outputs. Computer outputs, right? So the pathetic condition is the popular t-value. Popular t-value. Whenever I am getting the thesis for evaluation, I used to bombard them like anything. Okay, the simple formula for t-value is, I am going to talk about this tomorrow. Okay, mean 1 minus mean 2 divided by within modulus, which means we are taking only the numerical difference. So SD1 square by n1 plus SD2 square by n2. You may think how I am remembering all these things because of the practice. Honestly speaking, I have not even gone through the formula and all for coming to this class. Long back I have worked with my hand. I have calculated t-value for each table. Okay, with the calculator. Right. So this is a common formula, and with the computer output you will get the t value with the minus sign. Okay, people are writing minus 5.36. Highly significant. Highly significant. The common sense is t value will not have the minus sign. What is the meaning of the t value? That's why I am repeatedly telling you people are relying on the statistics, I am relying on the theoretical knowledge of the research methodology. How come the t value can be minus? Tell me. Is it correct? The basic formula of the t value says that it is a numerical difference, and you are writing t value with the minus sign. T value with the minus sign. Again, tomorrow I am with the t value I have to talk about the level of significance. Level of significance. I don't know why the course was designed like this. Exactly. I was wondering why I have assigned these topics. All the topic are the problems created by the people, and I am making a lot of comment about this in the thesis evaluation. Okay. Normally we are attracted by what we are having inside. I am always bombarding the people whenever I am correcting the thesis for this week, and sir has given the same topic for me. Minus with t value with the minus sign, and all this nonsense. Levels of significance. With the computer output, you are getting these kind of values. Point, not. What does it indicate? Zero level of significance? Zero level of significance. What is this? What is this value indicates? Tell me. What is this value? Actually, computer output it may be 0.00001, so it cannot print all those values. So it has given 0.000. Common sense, you should change this as 1 and write. Otherwise, it is called as zero level of significance. It is called as zero, like the minus t value. This is zero level of significance. Okay. Actually, you are getting a better correlation, or better t value, or better f value, whatsoever it may be, and you will be doing the same thing when you are sending a research paper or when you are writing a thesis.
Yes, we have observed so many theses.
Okay. So at least you should change it as 0.001. Okay. Actually, level of significance talks about the amount of confidence. Amount of confidence. For example, normally we have 100% means if I am repeating the experiment or teaching or whatsoever it may be for 100 times, at least for 95 times, I should get the similar result, not same result. Same result is not possible with the human variables. With the same person, it's not possible. So 95% of the time, I should get the similar result. That is called as 0.05 level of significance. That is called as 0.05 level of significance. That is the proportion value. 0.05 is the proportion. 95 divided by 100 is 0.05. That is 0.05 level of significance, or 95% amount of confidence. 95% amount of confidence. Similarly, 0.91 means, 99 means 0.01, not 1. Which means, if I am repeating the experiment or repeating the procedure for 100 times, at least for 99 times, I should get the similar result. That's called as 0.01 level of significance, or 99% amount of confidence. 99% amount of confidence. Now tell me, where comes this point not 0 or 1 comes? Which means that shows our idiocy. That shows our idiocy. Which means you don't know anything about the research methodology and you are relying only on the statistics output from the computer. Am I correct? Am I right?
Yes.
How can you quote the not, all those things? Computer output gives all those things. But is it logically right? I am using the word judicially, you should use the statistics. This is the reason. This is the reason. And you will, even with the foreign papers, foreign theses, all these nonsense are there. But I used to bombard them for all these things. Even for many of the American journals, I used to write the feedback. You are printed like this, how 000 is correct and how the discussion is correct. How the discussion is correct. Just because you are published in the American journal, it may not be correct. It is against the logic. It is against the logic. See, here we should have the braveness to fight for the right. righteous consciousness. Right? We should have the righteous consciousness. Right? So whether our article is published or not, okay, we should be critical in our review. We should be critical.
Can we take like this? Yeah. What do you say? Infinitive conference.
Infinity, see, from the mathematical or numerical point of view, infinity is right. But methodologically, whether it is right.
Like, can we think like that?
Huh?
Infinitive conference.
Methodologically right? No.
Not right.
Methodologically it's not.
Right. But mathematically,
That's what I keep on repeatedly telling. Don't rely statistics alone. From the starting onwards, I am saying the same thing.
It is how you interpret things.
no, infinity level means 0, 0, 0.
Mathematically it is correct. Logically,
Logically it's wrong. Or as per the research methodology, it is wrong. Then we can abolish the methodology. If you are relying only on statistics and mathematics, we can abolish the research methodology. Why should we have research methodology? Why should we break our head for research methodology? 2 by 2 by design, 3 by 2 by design, randomized design, customized design. Why we have to break ourselves? We need not break our head. We can abolish the research methodology. So my point is, don't rely too much on statistics. Apply your methodological knowledge. You should be methodical. You should be methodical. Coming back, let's make a workout of the Carl Pearson product moment, and from there I will convert the same into rank order correlation. You will see the difference. For the same score, I will give the rank order correlation so that you can understand the nuances of both product moment and rank order correlation. So I have the scores, 2 scores. For the as per the formula convenience, I am taking these scores as x, y. X, y. Because in the formula we are using some x, some y. So we should go as per the society. So in the formula it was given as x, y. So I am having the 2 scores. The scores of the students, the academic motivation and achievement score. This is motivation score. This is achievement score. Okay. Theoretically, we know that both are related. Why am I using the word theoretically? Probably the review of methodology would have been completed, am I right? So, completed.
I was talking about another pen which is not writing there.
Okay. No, sir. In 7 days, definitely. Yeah. Review of this methodology is over. What is the purpose of the review? Again, for the statistics only, I am talking about that. What is the purpose of the review?
To fix the title of the research,
Okay.
statement of the research,
Okay.
is very, very essential to read the review
Okay.
of the related.
Better staff, you cannot give the answer. Students, you are in the process of identifying your topic and all. What is the purpose of the review?
To get the right knowledge about our problem.
Sit down, please. Right knowledge about your. I think you are obsessed with the right and wrong.
I mean, there is one process.
Everywhere you are using right and nothing is right in this society. Nothing is wrong in this society. Okay?
Identify the knowledge gap.
Yeah, 1 point, good. This is the purpose of the identify the knowledge gap. Then,
Statistical technique.
yeah, identify the statistical technique. Good. Then,
Formulate hypothesis.
yeah, tools to decide about the tools to formulate the hypothesis. Then, any other answer? Don't repeat the same answer. Yeah, methodology also. Then,
Procedure of statistical analysis.
yeah, that's what she told. Then, that's what I'm saying. Listen to the other people. Don't repeat the same answer. It's waste of time. Then,
Findings.
Select the problem.
yeah, how to interpret your findings. Super. Then, that is the real purpose of review. You are coming to the real purpose. See, honestly speaking, tell me whether we are identifying the gap from the review and we are taking the topic. We have decided the topic, we have completed the statistical analysis. No, we have completed the statistical analysis. From the statistical analysis, we are formulating the hypothesis and telling the reality.
Exactly.
Okay, we are completing the statistical analysis, and from there we are writing the hypothesis. From there we are writing the objective.
No, sir. We are writing. Initially, we write the objectives and according.
I am not questioning about the exception. I am talking about in general. Okay. There are some exceptional people. I am not talking about the exception. I am telling you honestly what we do in the real sense. Okay, that is ethically wrong. There is a difference between your values and ethics. It's ethically wrong. It's ethically wrong. This is the basic problem. You are encountering so many problems in the later stage or from the examiners. Because you are not going through the stages of research. You are not going through the stages of research. The real purpose of review is, as is said, okay, identify the knowledge gap, this, that, and all. Okay. From the review, we can formulate our hypothesis. Nobody said about that. Nobody said about that. Because you don't know the research methodology. You are coming from the back. See, when we can formulate the directional hypothesis, when we can formulate the non-directional hypothesis, when we should go to the null hypothesis, depends on your review of related research. Depends on the review of related research. Are you getting me?
Yes.
I am talking about the whole research methodology instead of correlation. Right? Are you getting me?
Yes, sir, yes.
See, I can complete the correlation, I can work it out and I can go. Nobody will ask me. Right? But my point is, you should learn what it is. What are the nuances? Clear? So, when we can use the hypothesis, the directional hypothesis or null hypothesis, etc. For example, we have seen that intelligence is the most important factor which is contributing to the achievement of the student. This is the known factor. We have done so many research, so many theories of intelligence, so many factors of intelligence, so many studies in this area. And on the name of assuming neutrality, people will say there is no relationship between intelligence and academic achievement of students. They will write the null hypothesis. They will write that is absolutely wrong. That is absolutely wrong. So null hypothesis is used when there is no previous theories or evidences. When there is no previous theories or evidences. This is the first condition to use the null hypothesis. Number 2, when there is no previous studies. And number 3, your work is a new innovative work. We can't ascertain the relationship among the variables and we are not sure about it. Number 3. Number 4, your work is the experimental work. Many people used to write there is a positive relationship between with my training program and the academic attainment of the student. It's entirely wrong. If your program alone is capable of producing 99% of significance, we can stop all the programs and teach only your program for all the school students, all the college students. Am I right? Many people used to justify this, cooking up the numbers, and you are justifying this training program is highly effective, highly significant. If so, my opinion is discuss with your state education minister, stop all the other programs. Why should we waste time for all the other programs? Okay, give your program on because it is producing 99% result, 98% result. Stop all the other program. So whenever we are going for the experimental work or any clinical work, then we should assume that there is no significant difference, and hence we should go for the null hypothesis. Right? Because we are unaware or unsure of the relationship. We are unaware or unsure of the effectiveness because there is no previous studies. Then with the same continuation. So I am not using the null hypothesis for intelligence and academic achievement. Then how to formulate the hypothesis in this case? There will be a significant relationship or significant effect of intelligence on academic achievement. This is the non-directional hypothesis. This is a non-directional hypothesis because I am not giving any direction. For example, with the previous studies, I am quoting the intelligence of women have significant influence on their academic achievement than man. This is directional hypothesis. Are you getting me? I am covering the hypothesis too. Are you getting me? So, if I am not sure, there is no relationship between these two variables. But with intelligence and achievement, I cannot say that. So, I should go for statement form. And one more form is there in the hypothesis, research question. Research question is not just for fascinating. You cannot check the question with the statistics. In a study, questions cannot be tested. The hypothesis should be tested. The hypothesis should be a tested proportion. So, it should be tested. even if you raise the research question, that should be converted into either null form or alternative form for testing purposes with the statistical tools. That's the thumb rule. That's a thumb rule. And coming back, so with the intelligence and achievement, I have the no direction. I am not sure whether men, influence of men will have the significant influence or women have the significant influence. So I am saying that intelligence will significantly influence the academic achievement of the students. Okay, this is the non-directional hypothesis. I have the previous studies, dearth of studies, number of studies. So in many of the studies, even not many of the, even we know that women are more intelligent than men, but they are more emotional than men. That is why they are not using their intelligence properly. That's a basic problem with the women. Okay, I'm not joking. Up to the UG level or PG level, you can see all the gold medalists are women. Yes. Afterwards, where they have gone?
They get into serials.
Huh? I am not watching serials. I don't know. Okay. So the question is, they are really intelligent. They are the academic. They have the higher academic achievement. For example, as a controller, I used to wonder every year. I used to see the number of gold medals. Out of 119, 120 gold medals, 103 to 107 gold medals are secured by women. Sparingly, we can see men where the women candidates are not admitted in that course. Otherwise, it is very difficult. In those courses, women candidates are not admitted. Women candidates are not admitted. Like mechanical engineering and the olden days. Nowadays, women is also equally competing with the men in the mechanical engineering. In previous days, in the mechanical engineering alone, men will be coming for the gold medal because there is no women in the class. Right. Similarly, with the 119, 120 gold medal, I have seen every year. It is the 5th year I am seeing. Every year about 117 or 116 gold medals are secured by women, including both UG and PG. But afterwards, what happened to them? Okay, that is why I use the word emotional. Okay, not to degrade you people. So coming back to the point. So I have the direction. Now I have the direction, clear-cut direction. That's why I quoted the gold medal example. So women have higher intelligence, or women have the higher influence of their intelligence over the academic achievement. This is the directional hypothesis. And remember, we cannot test the hypothesis with the correlation. Rather, we have to convert the R value to T value. That doesn't mean that you should not test the hypothesis. Simple thumb rule, you should convert the R value. After calculating the R value, you should calculate the T value from the R value. Then test your hypothesis. So correlation directly cannot be used to test the hypothesis, but this is not the limitation. The R value can be converted into T value and we can test the hypothesis. So coming back to the product moment correlation coefficient, the academic motivation or achievement motivation and academic achievement of the students. For example, I have 10 students. Let me write the scores of the students like this: 1, 7, 2, 3, 4, 12, 11, 5, 10, 5. The second scores are like this: 2, 5, 6, 4, 1, 5, 8, 2, 6, 1. 2, 6, 1. And look at here, the most important condition for product moment as well as rank order correlation is you should have the same numbers, not the value. Same numbers. If I have, I have not really 10 numbers. The second line also I have the same 10 numbers. The mother tongue influence. Okay? See, when you want to do something fastly, immediately you go for the mother tongue. It's very difficult. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we will get confused with this value, whether it is one value 1 or number 1. Right. So 10 numbers, equal numbers are presented to have the correlation. Okay. So in both the variables, we should have the equal representative values. I'm not using the word number. Equal representative values. Only then we can calculate the product moment correlation as well as rank order correlation. If the numbers are not equal, I'll tell you that. Okay, coming back here. So, equal numbers I have. For the convenience, let me draw the lines. Otherwise, I will be confused.
New marker. Please go and see the marker. New marker. Red and other marker.
I think the black marker, the NIMB is removed.
Red.
Otherwise, I would have taken black.
Red and blue. Black also. Black also is there.
Black, there is a problem.
Whatever it is, black and
That is right.
The nib was removed in the black marker. You put it back. Right. Okay. Then
put it otherwise dry.
yeah,
Ask,
that is also the problem with the AC. Otherwise, it becomes dry. Without AC, there is no problem. With AC, it's a problem. Right. So the formula for Karl Pearson product common correlation coefficient is. Sir?
Okay, sir. Carry on.
The formula is n is equals to summation xy, then minus summation x into summation y divided by n into sum x the square minus sum x the whole square into n into sum y square minus sum y the whole square, everything within the square root. Okay. So let me identify whatever I want first. I want the value of summation xy. So xy, okay. I want the x square value, similarly the y square value. Right. Only then I can do all those things. Similarly sum x here, this is sum y. This is sum y. Sum x value is 60. If you want to check it, you can check it. Sum y is 40. Sum y is 40. Just for convenience, I cooked the number. 60 and 40. If you want to check, you can check. Then x square. I have to, sorry, xy value 1 into 2, 2. So summation xy is equals to 288. Anybody wants to check and correct me and let me correct it. Okay. Even I can make mistake. Then x square. I have to square these values. Okay. 1 square 1. 7 49 2 2 4 3 3 4 9 9 16 16 11 11 11 21 25 5 100 25. So the sum x square is, sum x square value is 494. Similarly the y square, so sum y square is, sum y square value is 212. 212. So we need the values xy as per the formula. Sum x we want, sum y, summation of all the values we want. Then x square, sum x square we want, y square, sum y square we want. Now we have to substitute the values. So not r, n r. R is equal to sum xy. Sum xy value is 288 minus sum x into sum y, 60 into 40. Divided by n value is 10. Am I correct? There are 10 numbers.
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay. So that is why I said only when you have the equal representation in both the column, you can go for Karl Pearson or rank order, Spearman's row, rank order correlation. Otherwise, we cannot work it out. Right. So the n value is 10. 10 into 494 minus 60 the whole square. The substitution is very, very important. Into 10 into 212 minus 40 the whole square. Within the square root in the denominator. Within the square root. So the numerator value is 480 divided by 696800. If you have the doubt, you can check it. If you have the doubt, you can check it. Then 480 divided by 834.74. I am rounding it to the 2 decimals for the convenience. There is no need for go for so many decimals. Then the correlation value is R is equal to 0.575. So is it very difficult to calculate?
Nothing.
Yeah. If you take your Excel sheet, open the Excel sheet, substitute any number, you can write your own formula. In the third column, you can write XY. Then you can calculate one value. You can put the one value and pull the Excel. It will cover all the other values. I'm teaching you Excel also.
Students has to know should not exceed 1.
Yes. That I told you the thumb rule, -1 to +1 at the maximum. Okay. Some people will calculate beautifully up to this step, 480 divided by root square root, and they will write 5.75.
Sir, the same problem can be used. Rho is equal to 1 minus 6 sigma d square by
Yeah,
10.
I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it. Right? See, note down the value R is equals to 0.575. Clear? Yeah, take a photo if you want. Even if you switch on the light and you say take a photo. It's very simple to work it out. I will come to the interpretation part later. I'll come to the interpretation part later. Sir, director, sir.
But comparison.
If I am not completing this within 1 o'clock, I can continue. I can take a little bit time in the next session. Because if you take one thing, we have to complete.
Yeah. Good.
Just for the topic, we should not switch off.
Please.
Okay? Fine? 575. Right. Are you clear? Shall I rub it? Shall I rub this area? I am not rubbing the numerical values. I want those values.
Students are able to understand. Yes. For example, R is equal 1.231. Is it correct?
They will ask you what is
One above.
Sir, already I told that. They know.
But the testing, sir. Testing there.
Testing the memory. Okay. So rank is the position. Rank is the position. Then when to calculate the Spearman rho? Spearman R. I said for the Karl Pearson, when we have the two continuous variable, we are going for Karl Pearson product common correlation coefficient. Then I have the scores of the same people in two different subjects. I have the scores of the same people. Instead of the word academic motivation, achievement, motivation and achievement, I have the achievement score of the subject people in the science and maths. Science and maths. Both are academic achievement. But I want to know whether they are going together or different from each other. Going together or different from each other. So I should go for Spearman rho. Spearman rho or Spearman correlation is called as rank order correlation. Spearman rank order correlation. It's given by the formula R is equals to 1 minus. This itself is the indication that your correlation coefficient should not be more than 1. The formula itself is the indication. The Spearman rho, Spearman R is the indication that 1 minus everything is after the subtraction. Which means it should not be more than 1. It should not be more than 1. 1 minus 6 sigma d square. 6 sigma d square divided by n into n square minus 1. Okay? This is the formula for Spearman R. Better I can put the bracket here so that you will know. You have to operate all these things, only then it should be subtracted from 1.
Sir, I have one doubt.
Please, sir.
The rank order, it shows that rho, instead of R, rho indication is there.
Both can be used. Not only for rank order, even for here. See, many people have the problem with the small r and the capital R.
No, rho means...
Wait, professor. That is why the symbol rho was also introduced. When the word rho was introduced only after the introduction of regression coefficient. So many people get the confusion with the small r and the capital R. And see, regression coefficient also can be predicted from correlation. R square is the regression. Once if you calculate the R square is the regression coefficient. You can calculate the regression coefficient, but here the problem is from the R directly. If you calculate the regression coefficient, you cannot say the exact influence of which variable over the other. which variable over the other. That is why in regression coefficient we process the independent variable and dependent variable separately. Here we are looking for the togetherness, but we don't know which variable is influencing the other variable. But there, if you feed the values, intelligence is the independent variable, academic achievement scores are in the dependent variable, then the regression equation will be like that. Regression equation will be like that. So the squared R value is your regression coefficient. For example, if you square this value, what's the value? Tell me. You have the calculator. 0.25. 0.25, right? 25, etc., etc. Square the value. 0.575 into 0.575.
Calculate. Cell phone is there.
0.25.
One now.
Student has responded.
No one has calculated. Now what's the value? 0. Okay, 0.33. Okay, because of this more than 0.5, so it comes to the next digit. Correct. That's the logic. Okay, 0.33. This is the regression coefficient. Okay, what does this 0.33 indicates? What is the meaning of this 0.33? For instance, if you assume that the first variable is the independent variable, the second variable is the dependent variable as per the logic and previous experience, previous theories. So this is intelligence, this is the achievement. So 33% of the academic achievement of these people is influenced by their intelligence. You got it? 0.33 is nothing but 33% influence. 33% of the academic achievement of these people is because of their intelligence. Then other 67% may be due to various other variables. Other 67% may be due to their academic stress, their interest in the work, their teachers' teaching ability, learners' learning capacity. Likewise, there are so many variables. And do remember, if you go to the medical research, the regression coefficient must be not even 0.99, it should be 1. If you go to the medical research, there is no 0.99. But in social science research, even 20% of the influence is more significant because we have more psychosocial variables. Because all the education researches, you will be talking about the psychosocial variables. So even if you get the regression coefficient 0.20 and above is the beautiful or good influence. Good influence, because with 2 or 3 variables, if you calculate the regression, if you get the regression coefficient is 0.33, that is a beautiful influence. So we can think of designing the program or tailoring the program according to the needs of the group based on these variables. That is the need for the regression here. That is the need for the hope I am not going above your head. I am telling you the logic of everything. I am not teaching just a number. I am telling you the logic of everything. Are you clear?
Yes.
Shall I proceed? Forget about the regression. My area is correlation only. Coming back here. Just I am telling you how to calculate the regression coefficient from the correlation. That's what the idea. Then, even can I do one thing? Let me finish up the t-test also from the regression. There are so many things. 1.5 hours is not sufficient for correlation, sir. Okay? 1.5 hours is not sufficient. I think it's the lunch time.
No. So you can take even for 15 minutes.
Extra?
No problem. What?
They
Is
should
it
not
okay
be-
or not? Yes.
Okay, sir.
You may continue, sir, please.
Okay. So, from here, how to calculate the t-value? Lunch is arranged here only for everyone, right? Yeah. Then you cannot run away.
University schedule 1:15 is time.
Then it's fine. So, t-value, how to calculate the t-test to test the hypothesis? Whether they are related or not. We have to calculate the t-value. So, the t formula is r into n minus 2 within square root divided by 1 minus r square. Somebody can substitute the value and tell me. I am giving the value 0.575 into n is 10. The meaning of n minus 2 is nothing but degrees of freedom. Are you getting me? This n minus 2 is nothing but the degrees of freedom. Degrees of df, degrees of freedom. It's not from the Greek and Latin. It's nothing but degrees of freedom. N minus 2 the square, degrees of freedom the square. Then 1 minus r square. So divided by 1 minus r square is 0.575 the square. Okay, somebody tell me the final value, t value. Substitute the value, do the calculation in the separate thing. With your calculator, if you do directly, you will get the confusion. For instance, first calculate 10 minus 2, 8. Minus 0.575, sorry, into square root of 8 divided by 1 minus, the square value is 0.33 something. Somebody told already, 0.33 something. So substitute like this, then get the final value. Otherwise, with the symbols and brackets, you will be confused. The square root of 8, 0.575 into 2.8, okay. For example, roughly 2.8. Well, this is 0.777, correct? 3367. 0.67. So 0.57 into 2.8. Somebody give me the answer. 0.57 into 2.8. Roughly I am calculating, not I am going up to the exact numbers, digits.
1.59.
1.59 divided by 0.67. Yeah. What is the value? Final value? It should be 2 point something. Yeah, 2 point something. Tell me. 2.37. So the t value is 2.37. How to interpret this value? Okay, roughly I calculated. For an idea, I have converted. You should know. For an idea, I have converted. So how to interpret this t value? How to interpret this t value?
2.37.
Yeah, 2.37 or something, we got it. See, t value, which is a student's t distribution. T value is also known as student's t distribution. In the student's t distribution, the thumb rule is if the sample size is 120 and above, it's considered to be the infinite sample. As you said, something infinite. In the t value, if the sample size is n values, n is equal to more than 120, it is said to be infinite. And in the t value for the infinite sample at the 0.05 level, the t value is 1.96, 1.56, 1.96. Then 0.01 level is 2.52, 2.52. So these are all memorized from the college days, right? So can we use the 0.05 level or 0.01 level? Which is correct? To test the hypothesis. See the crucial value. If you use the 0.01 level, this will be rejected.
Yes.
If you use the 0.05 level, it will be accepted. It will be accepted. Which level can be used? Some proof. Why? 0.05 means why? 0.01 means why?
Already previously you said if you've done exercise, 95% may be correct with that value.
Okay. He has given the correct answer, but nobody has responded. That's why I didn't expect the staff member to give the answer. Why? Already I have, Sar was missing my class, he was not continuously sitting, but you people knows, right? I told that with the human variable, 99% of accuracy is not possible. With the human variable, already I used this word. With the human variable, 99% of accuracy is not possible. So, 0.05 level of confidence. Now we have to accept the hypothesis. Accept the null hypothesis or reject the null hypothesis.
Social sciences we can generally say.
In social sciences, generally as Sar said, in social sciences, we prefer the 0.05 level, not the not 1 level.
Pure sciences,
It should be perfect, especially with the medical sciences, it should be perfect. Okay, not 0.05 level or 0.09, not 1 level, it should be 1 level. 100%.
Sir, excuse me. T value we are using a comparison between the two means.
Yeah.
Here is how can you interpret?
That is the advantage of the correlation coefficient. Okay? The t value formula is based on the mean value. That is how it was developed.
Yes.
But it is not necessary to calculate the t value everywhere.
So that's why you are going for the R.
Yeah,
Oh.
from the R value I am calculating the t value. I am not comparing the two means of the
Now
group.
I got it.
I am not comparing the two means of the groups. How we can utilize the correlation coefficient for t value and to test the hypothesis. That's the idea. Are you getting me?
So dear students, generally we are going to in a pilot study we are using instead of t value we are using the r value. You can remember that point.
Yes. From the R value, you have to convert the T value and test the hypothesis. That's what I
Previously we
say.
are comparing the t value. And nowadays we are going for a r value.
R value.
This is the reason. Okay.
Okay? Without knowing the reason, we are doing the statistics. This is the reason for using the statistics. If you ask me, I will give the reason for each and every statistics. I know the logic of every formula. I told you how to convert the decile percentile, etc. from the n by 2 median only. Because I know the logic. I don't remember the formula. From the logic, I am developing the formula. Clear? If it is so, you will not forget anything. The interpretation part will be very superb. Many people, as Prabhu Shankar said, many people are writing the they are not testing the hypothesis, rather writing the interpretation of the numbers which are already available in the table. Okay, we don't read the number. You have to write the mean value is 19.86 and the SD value is. Okay, is it necessary? You have to write whether you are rejecting or sorry, we should not reject the hypothesis based on the. This is called as critical value, the critical T ratio. From the T value, you should not reject the hypothesis. Either you should say you are accepting the hypothesis or not accept. No, rejection should not be there. Okay, you are accepting or not accepting the hypothesis. Not accepting the hypothesis. See, I used to emphasize my scholars to write, don't bother about whether you are accepting the hypothesis or not accepting. It is immaterial. We have to write, if there is a difference, why and how. If there is no difference, why?
Yes, that is we want to.
Okay? If there is no difference, many of my thesis, many of my dissertation, there is a difference between thesis and dissertation. Up to MPhil level, you will use the word dissertation. In the PhD level, it's thesis. Thesis is the original writing. Okay? Now it is plagiarized writing. That is why we are checking the plagiarism. But thesis is the original contribution is called as thesis. For your information, Einstein's E is equals to MC's thesis is just 17 pages.
Yes.
Okay? Which was the Nobel Prize award winning thesis. Just 17 pages. We are writing the thesis for 260 pages to 575 pages. Like some people are keeping the annexure also, another booklet for their thesis. Okay, that is why UGC got fed up with the students and they have limited the range. It should be within maximum 300 pages. It should be within 300 pages.
So in this regard, we have one doubt, sir.
Yes, please.
This is
for students. Tell me.
Not for students. This is common doubt for
Please,
all
sir.
staff members also. For example, I would like to give one example. There is no significant difference between the male and female students with regard to the learning of Sanskrit.
Okay.
Okay, whether we are testing for group or 30 tests.
Okay.
Null hypothesis rejected or accepted. Okay, accepted, rejected. That's the matter. Now
Why there is no difference between
the explanation.
Yeah.
Exemption explanation used to be right or not?
Yeah, that should be given.
Yes,
Why? That's what I have insisted now. You should give the reason why there is no difference. Okay. For example, in the olden days with the traditional system, okay, only men are allowed to learn Sanskrit. But nowadays, women are equally competing with men in all walks of life, and Sanskrit is not an exception. Sanskrit is also an exception. The knowledge and skill acquired by the female would have contributed for the higher level of achievement in Sanskrit. That may be the reason there is no difference between the men and women. There may be no statistically significant difference. We can't say that there is no difference. The difference is not statistically significant. That may be the reason there is no statistically significant difference exists between the Sanskrit knowledge of men and women. This is the right way of writing.
This is the explanation, assumed explanation only.
Yeah, only see, even the theories can be developed only based on the assumption. When the assumption is proved, that became theory.
Yes.
When the assumption that is the reason we have to do the review. The socio-cultural perspective, psychosocial perspective, socio-cultural perspective. This is the real work of the investigator. You have to say why it may be, how it may be, what may be the factor. I am not saying that this is the factor. I am not saying that this is the only factor. This may be due to these reasons. That's the role of the researcher. So forget about hypothesis myopia, whether you are proving the hypothesis or not proving the hypothesis. Okay? You have to give the reasons why it may be. For example, the locality you live may contribute further. Clear? You are talking about the Sanskrit knowledge in Tirupati. Think of the Sanskrit knowledge in Delhi. They give much emphasis with Hindi. So definitely their achievement may be higher than your achievement. So the locality factor also there, the previous learning is also there. Likewise, we should collect the relevant factors and we should give the possible. That is why we are talking about the tentative explanation, not the accurate explanation. Tentative explanation for this. This is the idea behind this. Right.
Sir, can we write immediately on the explanation part, or can we write in a last page as a...
No, my suggestion is with the results and discussion. What is your discussion? Writing the numbers is the discussion?
No.
Otherwise, like the psychology thesis, you can just limit yourself as results. You can write the discussion as a separate chapter. But my suggestion would be, you can write the, it's not 115, I will stop exactly at 115, don't look at the clock.
Okay, sir.
Please.
Testing of hypothesis is over. Immediately can we write the...
That is the right way.
Yeah.
That is the right way. Once the first paragraph is, based on the statistical value, make the statistical decision.
Yes.
Based on the statistical value, you made the statistical decision. Now you have to interpret. That is the discussion. That is the discussion. Then many people have the doubt with this discussion and the final discussion in the 5th chapter.
Yes.
And many people used to do the copy and paste work from here. Okay, that should be avoided. That is called as more inclusive discussion. More inclusive discussion. For example, here you can quote 1 or 2 studies which is favorable for your study. That is the discussion here. There you could take it in the broader perspective. How to apply this knowledge to the other area. Broader perspective. And you can take the studies which is against, for or against of your study. For and against of your studies. And you, based on the correlational studies, you should derive some other conclusion also over there. But the real conclusion of your study should be listed as conclusions of the study. Not whatever you have discussed. Not whatever you have discussed. Remember, if at all you are serious about the research, take some of the foreign articles. In your area, definitely there are some foreign articles. I am not supporting the foreigners, but many of the foreign journals, they are emphasizing about the inclusive discussion, not just the numerical discussion. In many of the journals, you could see that not even they are drawing the tables. Not even they are drawing the tables. Rather, they will be writing the t value is equal to this much, blah blah blah. They will write the interpretation. That's all. Clear? Let me stop here. I think it's about 1:50. Okay, sir, next session he has to finish and he has to go to Chennai. Okay. Thank you. Let me continue in the afternoon.
नमः सभापतिभ्यश्च अद्य कार्यशालायाः 7मं दिनं द्वितीयसत्रे अस्मान् अनुगृहीतवन्तः प्रोफेसर आर कादरीवान महोदयः आर एस कादीरवान महोदयेन अस्माकं सांख्यिकीय विषये सहसंबंध विषये एवं च विभिन्न विषयैः सम्यक्तया बोधितवन्तः एवं च महोदयाय कार्यशालायाः पक्षतः विश्वविद्यालय पक्षतः हार्दं कार्तज्ञं वितनोमि एवं च अस्याः कार्यशालायाः आयोजकेभ्यः निर्देशकेभ्यः एवं च संयोजकेभ्यः सहसंयोजकेभ्यश्च हार्दं कार्तज्ञं वितीर्य विरमामि एवं च अद्य भोजनार्थं तत्र